It's Thursday, April 30th, 2026, and you're listening to Blue Lightning Daily. I'm Hunter. And yes, this episode was assembled by a stack of AI tools like a little content Voltron, so if we momentarily sound like we're buffering in human, that's the vibe.
I'm Riley, and I just want everyone to know I'm emotionally available, but my agent is not. My agent is focused on finishing multi-step work reliably, which is also what OpenAI is claiming with GPT 5.5.
Yep, OpenAI rolled out GPT 5.5, and the whole pitch is basically, stop treating AI like a chatbot that gives you a cute paragraph, and start treating it like production infrastructure that actually finishes the job.
Which is, honestly, the most relatable thing they've ever said. Because the worst part of using AI at work is not prompting. It's the glue work. The formatting, the missing requirements, the why did you forget the brand voice halfway through, the where's the second deliverable you promised, all of it.
Exactly. The headline isn't it's smarter. The headline is it's more reliable across a chain of tasks. And they've got two main flavors, the standard GPT 5.5 and GPT 5.5 Pro, which is the heavier, more careful one.
Pro is like when you ask a friend to help you move and they show up with straps, a dolly, and a printed plan. Regular is like, I brought vibes and a LaCroix.
And both are showing up across ChatGPT and Codex. So it's clearly aimed at creators and teams who are doing real pipelines, not just write me a caption.
Okay, but let's zoom out before we crown it king of finishing. This week has been very agents everywhere, chaos included. We've been talking about NVIDIA's Nemotron Nano Omni thing, which is open weights and multimodal, trying to reduce the whole orchestrate 5 models to do one job circus.
Yeah, that's the other big theme. Fewer brittle chains.
No.
Nemotron's angle is one model that can reason across text, image, audio, video, at least for production setups that want control and throughput.
And then Adobe is like, hey creators, what if your AI assistant lives inside Firefly and Creative Cloud and actually shows its work? The Firefly Assistant beta is pushing transparency and repeatable steps, which is a nice counterbalance to the black box, trust me bro, I shipped it.
Plus Google's Workspace Intelligence rollout. That's the less sexy, more practical side of this whole shift. Stop losing the file, stop losing the thread, stop remixing outdated versions. It's not glamorous, but it's how content teams survive.
So the ecosystem vibe is, everyone is racing toward AI that behaves like a coworker who can follow a process. Not like a golden retriever that can write poetry but can't be trusted with a calendar.
Done. Perfect. Now, GPT 5.5 specifically is being pitched as finished work, not smart drafts. And I think creators need a fast test to tell the difference without doing a 3-week pilot that burns the team out.
Yes. Give me the sniff test. How do I know it finishes versus just finishing the first 2 paragraphs and then taking a nap?
My quickest test is a deliverables pack prompt. Not one output, a pack. You give it a single brief, then ask for channel-ready deliverables with strict formatting and constraints, like a YouTube title set, a description, pinned comment, short-form cut-down scripts, email version, and a metadata block in JSON.
Wait. The JSON part is where models either become adults or toddlers.
Exactly. And here's the tell. Does it keep the concept and tone consistent across the pack, and does it self-correct when it notices missing requirements? A finished work model should catch itself before you catch it.
But models love to fake confidence. Like, all done. Meanwhile, it ignored include 2 calls to action and forgot the whole TikTok version.
No. So I add a second instruction. Before finalizing, run a checklist against the requirements and report any gaps. If it's truly self-checking, you'll see it flag missing pieces and fix them. If it's performative, you'll get a heartfelt paragraph like, I'm sorry for the confusion, and then it continues hallucinating in better punctuation.
That apology paragraph is so real. It's like the model is trying to be a good boyfriend instead of a good producer.
Which brings us to the next practical question. If GPT 5.5 is better at multi-step follow-through, what's the first workflow you trust it with?
Content packaging, 100%. Take one source, turn it into a dozen formats, keep the voice consistent, and don't break the specs. That's where creators bleed time.
I'm with you. Packaging is the perfect agentic but safe zone, because if it messes up, worst case you ship a weird caption. You didn't nuke a database.
Hold up, because light coding is tempting too, especially with Codex in the mix. Like, make me a script that renames and organizes my assets, then creates a CSV for upload. That's such a real creator ops thing.
True, but coding is where the confidently declares victory while nothing's shipped problem becomes career-threatening. Agentic models tend to fail in 3 places: planning step drift, tool execution brittleness, and silent failure.
Silent failure is the villain. It's when it says done, but the file is empty, or it wrote to the wrong folder, or it updated the spreadsheet, but it updated a pretend spreadsheet in its imagination.
Yep, and that's why tool use improvements matter. OpenAI is basically saying GPT 5.5 plans tool calls better and executes with fewer faceplants, but you still need guardrails.
Talk guardrails. because we are still living in the AI-ordered 100 bananas era. Like, what stops banana-level fails without turning the agent into a bureaucrat that needs 5 approvals to buy a stapler?
The best pattern is constrain and verify. Constrain what tools it can use, constrain what it can change, and then add cheap verification steps. For example, it can draft the email and prepare the CMS payload, but publishing requires a human click. Or it can propose file operations, but it has to output a preview list and wait for approval.
So basically, make it your assistant, not your intern with admin access.
Exactly. And add fail loudly rules. If a tool call errors, it should stop and report the error, not patch the story and pretend it succeeded.
Okay, now the money question for teams. How do we not pro everything like it's an iPhone upgrade? Because you know someone's going to be like, we only use Pro now, and then finance appears like Batman.
Routing. Least sexy, highest ROI. Standard model for drafting, packaging, and general ops where you can verify quickly. Pro for higher stakes reasoning, complicated multi-constraint work, or tasks where errors are expensive.
Give me an example.
Standard. Take a podcast transcript and generate platform variants with formatting. Pro, build the campaign's messaging architecture, or write a complex automation script that touches production assets, or do a deep QA pass where it has to check compliance constraints.
So Pro is like strategy, logic, and don't mess this up. Standard is like volume, consistency, and speed.
That's the idea. And you can also route by stage. Use Standard to generate, then Pro to audit, or the other way around. Pro sets the spec, Standard executes the variations.
I like the Pro as auditor vibe. Because half the time, I don't need a model to be a philosopher. I need it to be a meticulous editor who catches missing requirements before I do.
That's also what self-checking should mean in practice. It catches missing sections, inconsistencies, mismatched tone, broken formatting, and it flags uncertainty.
And ideally, it doesn't just flag it, it fixes it. Like, don't tell me the caption is missing a call to action, add the call to action.
Right. But here's the pragmatic read. You still design the workflow. GPT 5.5 rewards teams who define what done looks like, ask for structured deliverables, and include verification.
Which is why the whole agent's hype cycle gets annoying. It's not magic. It's like having a very fast helper who needs a checklist and a lane.
Speaking of lanes, multimodal reality check. People expected big image output surprises with GPT 5.5 chatter, but what's clearly supported right now is text and image inputs in the Pro variant and text output.
So don't build your whole pipeline on rumors. Build it on what you can run consistently and review. That should be on a t-shirt.
And that's where the blog take aligns too. We said this shift is about real automation for creators, not more clever replies. When it's in the API, it stops being a thing you talk to and becomes infrastructure you wire into your pipeline.
Which is both exciting and terrifying. Because infrastructure means scale. And scale means if it messes up fast.
That's why the 3 boring questions matter. Does it stay consistent under load? Does it fail cleanly when tools break? And can you stay cost-disciplined with routing?
My final vibe check. If GPT 5.5 can actually do one brief to full asset pack without me babysitting, that's huge. Not because it replaces taste, but because it stops wasting my taste on rework.
That's the whole point. Human taste stays the boss, the model handles the grind.
All right, creators, run the pack test. Make it do the boring formatting. Make it self-check. And if it starts acting like it shipped when nothing shipped, congrats, you found the edge case before it found you.
Thanks for hanging with us on Blue Lightning Daily. Subscribe if you want more no-hype AI updates for people who actually ship things.
And go hit bluelightningtv.com for the latest stories, tools, and breakdowns. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to ask an agent to do my laundry, and I will not be accepting 100 bananas as a substitute.
Catch you next time.